Nervous system is the system that connects all body parts and transmits signals from part to another. It is a system of cells, tissues, organs that regulates the body's response to external and internal stimuli. There are two divisions of nervous system. First is the central nervous system, or the CNS. It serves the main processing center for entire nervous system. There are two components under central nervous system. It is the brain and the spinal cord. Try to look at the picture at the left. The first component under CNS is the brain. It is located within the skull and works that function as organizer and distributor of information for the body. The brain has three main parts, as shown in the picture at the left. Cerebrum, the large upper part of the brain that controls our activity and thoughts. Cerebellum, the part under the cerebrum that controls our posture, balance, and coordination, and also known as the little brain. Brainstem, this is the part of the brain that connects the brain and the spinal cord, and associated with automatic functions such as breathing, digestion, heart rate, and blood pressure. The brain has three regions, as shown in the picture at the left. Forebrain, it contains the cerebrum, thalamus, hypothalamus, and hippocampus. Midbrain, it connects the forebrain and the hindbrain. Hindbrain, it holds the cerebellum, pons, and medulla oblongata. Cerebrum has four lobes. The color peach is the frontal lobe. It is involved or associated with the reasoning, planning, parts of speech, our movement, our emotions, and how we solve our problem. The blue one is the parietal lobe. It is also associated with our movement, orientation, recognition. Do you know me? Perception stimuli, how you perceive things. Occipital lobe. It is associated with visual processing. The green one is the temporal lobe. It is associated with the perception of auditory stimuli. Whatever you hear is being processed in the temporal lobe. Associated also with the memory and speech. The following parts is under the forebrain, just like the cerebrum. Hypothalamus. It regulates your sleep-wake cycle. Thalamus. It relays memory and sensory signal to cerebrum. Amygdala. It controls your emotion, such as your fear and aggression. Hippocampus. It is your memory storage and retrieval. The following parts of the brain is under the hindbrain. First is the cerebellum. It is for our coordination, movement, posture, and balance. Pons. It involves with motor control and sensory analysis. Last is the medulla oblongata, which controls autonomic functions or the involuntary control of the body like heart rate. The second component under central nervous system is the spinal cord. It serves as channels of signals between the brain and the rest of the body. It composed of white and gray matter nerve tissues. It transmits impulses all over the body to and from the brain. It also responsible for our involuntary movements. The second division of nervous system is the peripheral nervous system, or the PNS. It contains all the nerves, as you can see in the picture, outside the brain and spinal cord. It is also divided into two divisions, the somatic and autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system. It regulates the activities with conscious control, like controlling the muscular system and external sensory receptors with the use of our eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. Autonomic nervous system includes motor neurons that control the internal organs. It regulates involuntary activities like controlling the muscles in the heart and the smooth muscles in the internal organs such as our intestines, bladder, and uterus. Under autonomic nervous system, there are two subdivisions, the sympathetic and parasympathetic. The sympathetic is also known as the fight or flight response during stress times. It is responsible for heart rate, constriction of blood vessels, and rise of blood pressure. Parasympathetic is also known as the rest and digest, the opposite of the sympathetic nervous system. It controls internal functions at rest, thus slows down heart rate and increases intestinal and gland activities.